As hard as it may be, all good things must come to an end, including keeping up with the Kardashians. Even if you've never watched a single episode of arguably the most popular reality television series of our generation, you've heard of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And you've probably heard all the chaos relating to the show is finally coming to an end after 14 years and 20 seasons. With the series wrapped up and a plethora of iconic moments throughout, it's easy to get caught up in all the drama of the show. But it's also a good idea to unpack the moments on the show that probably would have fared better had they not been recorded. So, let's get to it. Scott's rehabilitation. We all know that mental health is incredibly important, and it's definitely important to seek help if you feel you may need it. And Scott Disick felt the same way on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. In what would have been a private moment on an episode that aired just last year, Scott called up Kourtney to tell her about his decision to check himself into a rehabilitation facility.
I go to therapy every week, but I never have any breakthroughs, and I never feel happy.
To learn how to cope with his past traumas. If you've seen the show, you'll know that this wasn't Scott's first time getting help for himself, but it was his first time taking the initiative himself to do so.
Scott isn't being asked to go away having an issue with alcohol or drugs, and it's his idea.
So kudos to Scott. Khloe and Tristan's surrogacy plan. Khloe and Tristan have definitely had their ups and downs, but they still managed to make their co-parenting relationship work for the sake of their daughter, True. But things got really interesting when Khloe decided she wanted True to have a sibling, and wanted to do so via hiring a surrogate, with Tristan as the biological father.
Can I see a picture?
Tristan. Oh my God.
It's not the craziest concept in the world, but when the entire process is filmed on camera for millions to see, especially with the camera crew filming the entire uncomfortable conversation with their surrogacy therapist.
And Tristan, luckily, was on board and felt comfortable.
Kim feeling like a loser. Unfortunately, the show that helped launch the careers of the most popular celebrity family of our time isn't the only thing that seems to be coming to an end. In February of this year, Kim filed for divorce from Kanye, and while the cameras were rolling, she vented about how she felt about the whole situation.
I can't do this anymore.
During part 1 of the series finale, Kim opened up to her sisters about how she felt like a loser and a failure for having a third marriage come to an end.
Loser? But I can't even think about that. I want to be happy.
We know Kim will move on and be stronger in the end, but the scene was honestly heartbreaking. Kris and Caitlyn's messy marriage. You already know that Kris and Caitlyn's marriage has been an absolute roller coaster, as we've seen countless times in the show. There have been disagreements about finances and even bigger arguments about Caitlyn's transition, specifically how Kris and the rest of the family found out about it, and the timeline of Caitlyn opening up about her identity. Basically, their marriage has been all but sunshine and rainbows. While the couple was relatively happy in their earlier years, Caitlyn's book release, The Secrets of My Life, really made Kris feel like she was being backstabbed after all of their years together.
I read it and said, what the hell is going on?
Kim's private tape. It may have been a good 14 years ago, but we all remember the awkward conversation in the pilot that Kim had with her momager, Kris, about the private tape she made with her ex-boyfriend, Ray J. This was the first episode, people. And according to an interview with the Los Angeles Times, Kim opened up about why she wanted to acknowledge the proverbial elephant in the room.
I'll just totally be honest. I'm so nervous.
Oh, don't be nervous, Kimmy.
Kim stated, "Someone's gonna ask me, so I might as well go ahead and do it. In a way, filming has helped us deal with things instead of sweeping them under the rug." Kourtney stepping back from Keeping Up with the Kardashians. It's no surprise that having your entire life recorded and published for the whole world to see can be exhausting, and the lack of privacy can definitely start to eat away at you. But in a 2019 episode of the show, Kim and Khloe called out Kourtney for limiting how much she wanted to share. In a nutshell, Kourtney wanted her privacy, and Kim and Khloe wanted to cease picking up the slack they felt from Kourtney's absence.
Just because you love to show every single thing, because she likes to show every single thing.
It was reality TV gold, but it definitely felt like a private moment the sisters could have had by themselves.
It's so disrespectful.
Actually, it would be on camera.
Kris Jenner's own private tape with Caitlyn. Okay, so we know Kris can get pretty candid about her life. And if you're a fan of the show, you've seen her tell it like it is time and time again. But sometimes she has the tendency to tell a little too much.
Bruce and I did a video.
In one episode, while Kris, Kendall, Khloe, and the rest of the family were all out to eat and talking about a photo shoot Khloe had just done, Kris not so subtly admitted that she and Caitlyn made their own private video once upon a time. Absolutely no one asked for this information, but it was hilarious nonetheless. Scott assisting Kourtney with grooming. There's never a dull moment on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but there are definitely moments that leave us just a little confused about some of the things that happen on the show. One instance of this is an episode where Kourtney, who was very pregnant at the time, didn't feel like putting the extra work into grooming and prepping for an upcoming photo shoot.
I could trim you up real nice. It's gonna run you about $13.50 though.
So Scott, the lovely gentleman he thought he was being, decided to take it upon himself to help the mother of his soon-to-be 3 children shave in the bathtub. We couldn't make this up if we tried. Kim's risky pregnancy. It's no secret that Kim's past pregnancies for her first 2 children were incredibly traumatizing for her body, and she went through a lot when delivering North and Saint. Kim was adamant about making sure her children had siblings, and she considered having another natural birth, despite her doctors telling her that her decision would result in a high-risk pregnancy.
I'm gonna try to have one more baby.
You can literally see the concern on her family's face in one episode when the topic came up. While fans could appreciate her being so open and candid about her life and her struggles with maternity, that's a huge decision to make in front of millions of viewers. Kim's concern for Kanye. While the lives of the Kardashians may seem fun and glamorous, one of the downsides to having your life publicized is that the cameras catch the terrifying moments as well as the good ones. In a 2017 episode, Kim received a call that clearly left her traumatized. While Kanye was on his St. Pablo tour, Kim got a phone call from one of Kanye's friends that he'd walked off the stage as he suffered a mental breakdown during one of his shows. Fans couldn't help but feel for Kim as she wept for her then-husband, and the intensity was real. Rob's struggle with his mental health. Fans of the show will know that there was a period of time where Rob was barely seen on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and his behavior and attitude towards his family had even been spiteful at times.
Y'all suck.
During a scene that took place in the middle of family therapy, Rob broke down after having so much anger and being overwhelmed from feeling like his family didn't support him.
I just want my family happy.
He'd opened up in earlier episodes about feeling depressed and frustrated about his weight gain. And while it's great that he's since improved his mental and physical health, it's a lot to go through on camera. Kris's allergic reaction. Extravagant vacations with the Kardashian Jenner family seem like they'd be a ton of fun, unless you have an allergic reaction. In one episode, while the family was enjoying their time away from their respective businesses, Kris experiences an intense allergic reaction to something she ate while on vacation. Her lip was swollen, she'd injured her foot, and it was just an overall bad time to be in front of cameras.
I did not get my lips done in the middle of the night, Kim.
But this is Kris Jenner we're talking about here. So of course, in typical Kris Jenner fashion, she shrugged it off and was determined to enjoy her trip. Kris mocking Kim's marriage. No, not to Kanye, but those who have been fans of Kim Kardashian for a while know that Kanye is not her first husband, or second for that matter. For a short period of time, Kim was married to former NBA star Kris Humphries. In one episode, while in a heated discussion with Kim and her siblings, Kris, feeling unfairly judged by her children, snapped back. She mocked Kim, saying,
I'm married for 72 days. Really, that was normal.
Whether or not Kris had a point, it seemed to Kim to be a very low blow, and the cameras caught every second of it. Kim and Kourtney throwing hands. Siblings fight. That's inevitable. But how many people can say that they fought with their sister on national television? Not many of us, but Kim and Kourtney sure can. We've seen the two of them, and really the entire family, get into it from time to time. But in an episode that aired last year, the two got into an altercation that started as a verbal one, but quickly turned physical. Kudos to Khloe and Kendall for breaking them up. but there was a moment that I was personally afraid for the safety of the camera crew. Khloe's video for Lamar and Rob. If we've learned anything about this family by now, it's that they love looking and feeling good in their bodies, both in photos and in videos, some of which are definitely more private than others. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it can get a little messy and embarrassing if the wrong eyes see it. And in one episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, that's exactly what happened. Back when Khloe was still with Lamar Odom, she made a cute but private video for him, which he later watched with her brother Rob. Scott tipping the waiter. Sort of. As it just is for some people, Scott Disick has struggled with his mental health and how he handles things from time to time. While he may have more recently taken great strides to better himself and his mental health, it hasn't always been that way. In a 2010 episode of the show, while the family went to Las Vegas to celebrate Kim's birthday, Scott, heavily under the influence, got angry when Kris told the bartender to stop serving him drinks.
He can only have water. No more drinks.
Scott was apparently having none of that, as he then proceeded to shove an entire $100 bill in the waiter's mouth. Gotta appreciate the growth. Kris's unexpected bathroom break. It's happened to most, if not all of us. You're on a long drive, you have to use the bathroom, but unfortunately, there is not one in sight. It's an awful situation to be in, but it makes for great reality TV when it happens to Kris Jenner, who handled it in a way I'm sure a lot of us would. While on the road to Las Vegas, Kris jumped off of her party bus and pulled up her dress to do her business on the side of the street. It's not a difficult task, but seeing as how someone driving a truck nearby saw the entire thing, it was an unfortunate party foul. Tristan disloyalty to Khloe. The Kar-Jenner clan may seem like they have it all, but we've seen the family suffer trauma and heartbreak like the rest of us while on the show, and it really makes you feel for them. So it makes perfect sense that tensions would rise when Khloe found out about Tristan kissing other women, and later Jordan Woods, just days before giving birth to her daughter True. Kim was not pleased, and when the whole family found out, they were there at Khloe's side.
I'm the one that told Khloe. I didn't want to hurt her feelings, but I felt like she should hear from one of us.
As hurt as Khloe was, we saw her build herself back up, and that's something we can all appreciate. Kendall's anxiety. Having your entire life filmed for national TV can definitely take its toll on you after so many years. Kendall has been open about her feelings of anxiety, but that can still be difficult to deal with. Yes, even if you're a Jenner or a Kardashian. In one episode, while Kris was busy with work, she got a phone call from a troubled Kendall who appeared to be having a panic attack.
She doesn't feel well.
While Kris, being the supportive mom that she is, was right at her side when she needed her, dealing with that on camera is sure to add another layer of stress. Kim defending Kanye after Taylor Swift incident. Oh, the Taylor Swift and Kanye debacle. Who can forget it? For those who don't remember, back in 2009, Kanye took to the stage after Taylor won Best Female Video at the MTV Video Music Awards. He abruptly stated the oh-so-famous line,
"But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time."
Since then, there's been drama about working with each other and who gave who permission to put certain things in videos, and Kim wasn't having it. She was quick to defend Kanye during one episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and we'll never forget it.
Like, it wasn't meant to be personal. It could have been anyone.
Scott's mystery woman. Kourtney and Scott have definitely had their fair share of drama and arguments over the time that they've been together. They're fine co-parenting now, but it definitely hasn't always been this way. In a 2017 episode of the show, while in a hotel in Dubai, Kim discovered that there was a purse in Scott's hotel room and evidence that he may be hiding something, or someone in his room. And thus, the drama we come to know and love from the show ensued. Scott, clearly nervous, started pacing the room and following Kim closely as she walked around his suite. Awkward? We definitely think so. Kanye's disapproval of Kim's dress. Kim is known for slaying pretty much any look she gives, As someone who's been on countless red carpets and has modeled fashion from the top designers in the world, you can pretty much bet money that when she shows up to the Met Gala, she doesn't come to play games. Well, apparently, neither does Kanye, who had more than a few words to say about Kim's 2019 Met Gala dress, a skin-tight Mugler ensemble. He told Kim that her attire impacts his soul, but not in a good way.
And I didn't realize that that was affecting like my soul and my spirit.
An argument followed, and Kanye eventually walked away. Kris oversharing about her love life. Again. You thought Kris candidly talking about the private video she made with Caitlyn was oversharing? Think again. Kris talked very openly in an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians about her love life with her boyfriend, Corey Gamble, which she was sure to give intense details about. And yet again, this was in front of her children, who were absolutely not here for it. Sure, it was hilarious to watch, as most of us thought, glad that's not my mom talking to me about that. Unfortunately, Kendall and Khloe weren't so lucky.
Zip it.
Kendall's obsessed fan. And trust me, for the purposes of this video, we're using the term fan oh so lightly. One thing about having your life filmed for the public is that sometimes you encounter people who may not have your best interests at heart. Kendall opened up to her family about a man who she'd been seeing on the street, who later showed up inside the gate of her home behind her car. While the man didn't plead guilty, he was arrested and Kendall was safe. But that's still a terrifying experience we hope they don't have to go through again. Drama over Khloe's real biological father. Sure, Khloe may be a little taller and may share a little less of a natural resemblance to her sisters, but some fans think that means the family has a secret they don't want to get out, specifically in regards to Khloe Kardashian and who her real biological father is. In one episode, Kris tried to convince Khloe to take a paternity test to shut up the rumors, which Khloe eventually did do, though she was not for it at first. Considering how close she was to the late Robert Kardashian, it was probably a moment that would have fared better for the family off camera. It really is insane how much the Kardashian Jenner family shared with us over the years, even if some of those things were moments that probably should have been private. What do you think of the ending of Keeping Up with the Kardashians? What were some of your favorite moments from the show? Comment down below and be sure to subscribe to The Things Celebrity to see more videos like this one.